wizard is here!
Ever...
Oh, the wizard!
Oh, in order to play these Ataris of me, you must answer these questions 3.
Behold,
Behold,
the
speed.
Atari portal.
Behold, old video games. Most of them are bad.
Gaze into this orb and see the video
They
game.
still exist.
Yes,
Oh.
it's important to hold on to these games for preservation's sake, but most of them are not that good. Or at least that's my opinion. I don't. There's there's a certain age of video games where the majority of them just don't do anything for me. Like, if a video game was made before, like, 1989, I look at it and I'm just like, I'm good. I'm okay, man.
I've been watching the PC Engine Daily series, which is just going through all the PC Engine games in release order. And some of those seem good.
$950?
Oh yeah, girl! Even Super Mario Bros. 1 and Legend of Zelda 1.
On the simplest level,
Legend
what the
of Zelda
VCS,
1
the
kind
Atari
of,
2600, what that is,
and Super
it's
Mario
a
Bros.
combination
1,
of plastic and computer
not
chips
as much.
that
Do we
enables
have
you to
subtitles for
play a
these?
video game, an interactive video game on
I
your
feel
home
like there
television.
should be.
Some-
How do I...
Like, Super Mario Bros. 1 is more one of those games that
Options? Yeah.
I can play more of Super Mario Bros. 1, but even that I kind of like tap out on probably after a couple of worlds.
Oh, it doesn't look like there is.
Weird.
Weird.
Do you like the play controls when like you're going through the video have anything?
Oh,
There you
okay,
go.
there we go.
On the simplest level, what the VCS, the Atari 2600, what that is, it's a combination of plastic and computer chips that enables you to play a video game,
Okay,
an
yeah.
interactive video
That is
game
like
on your home
truly
television,
the most ground
which is
level
something that
explanation of what
never
this
really
thing is.
happened before.
Yeah,
If you're making
Mega
an
Man
arcade
2
game,
is
it
like
begins as a
my
hardware
cutoff
project.
for
If you
old
need
video
something
games
more in the hardware, just
that
put
I
in the
like
hardware and you
in
can
terms of,
use
like,
it in your game.
age.
The Atari 2600, we didn't have that luxury. The game was already in Grandma's house. It was already hooked up to her TV. And all we could do is make a different cartridge, sell that to the person, he plugs it in.
It was the thing that made video games a worldwide phenomenon. And all it is it's a box that enables you to play an interactive game on your TV. But on a cultural level, that's such a huge thing to do because there were two things that achieved that changed the world, literally changed the world. One is it put
This is not a
computers
toy.
in homes. At a time where IBM only
it's
had about
basically a toy.
10,000 PCs sold altogether, Atari had millions of units installed. And every one of those was a computer in the home. The other thing it did was it created an interactive medium with television, which was always a passive medium. Before video games, people were just zombies sitting on the couch watching TV.
Oh, shut up!
Video games turned people into zombies jumping up and
Okay.
down on the couch yelling at the TV. And that was a very different experience.
Whatever
and I
you
think
say,
that
man.
was huge in terms of taking people from a passive state to an active state.
I can't
And,
find
we're
Atari
still
50, so I'm
learning
saying
what
I'm
it is.
playing Atari Flashback. It's a joystick. Look at that high-res glossy stick.
That is a nice
Oh,
photo.
yeah.
Yeah, because sports shows didn't have people shouting. Yeah, that's a very fair point, Corey. It's like, I guess as a video game person, they're probably not connected to the idea that sports entertainment was a thing, and people would be like, yeah, yeah!
I like this 3D box. Cute. time for combat.
Great. Sound design is my passion.
Oh, it's like I'm there.
It's like I'm really listening to a Merzbow album.
Yeah, combat. Everyone's played combat. Everyone knows what combat is.
Original box. You open like a book, revealing slots. This is a convenient but more expensive design quickly gave way to more standard boxes, which were sealed up with glue and thus were often destroyed when open. It's the combat code.
Wow. That's actually kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Made up of just 2 kilobytes of data. To put that in perspective, just the image shown here, which contains the entire combat program in machine code, is more than 500 kilobytes in size. So this image is...
That is literally the programming of that video game. That is extremely wild.
Air-sea battle.
Combat, but they're planes instead of tanks.
We have 27 different versions of this game.
Watch as these penises shoot combat planes.
The penises must impregnate the airbound women.
Oh, I thought you just meant the planes, like, you know, from the Cars spin-offs with Tom Green, planes. Come see battle. Well, here's this game.
All right.
Oh.
When are we playing Custard's Revenge?
Yeah, I know. There are it has all the versions if we really wanted to do that. All 27 cool versions.
Yeah, Corey says actually there is a porn ripoff game that is just...
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks too much like a penis for that
Yeah.
to not be the case.
Yeah, you just need to slightly adjust the, like,
it's
sprites
Snake.
for the... You just have to slightly adjust the sprites for the planes and rest of the aircraft to look like women.
It's very interesting, like, the way that they sold this, where it's just like, this has like 14 games in it, when it's just like different variations of, you know,
The same.
Snake. Yeah.
It's Snake.
It sure is. Have people ever been horny for the Cars spin-off Planes characters? Yes, of course people have.
People have been horny for everything. I don't know.
Yo, that computer's making a pee. What the fuck is it doing?
Polo Cat says I'd spend like $2 for an Atari porn games collection made by Digital Eclipse.
Yeah, it's gonna have Stroker. Finally, Stroker's getting its time to shine.
I love the art for all these covers, though.
Yeah,
I
it looks
rad.
Well, it was very much the era where, like, they had to sell you on, like, the presentation
Yeah,
of the
like,
thing.
this is what the game in their mind's eye looked like, instead of what the...
Yeah, the blurb mentioned that there's like a drawing program in Surround as well.
The entire reason that Atari created the Atari 2600 home console was to put their arcade hits.
I'm remembering
home.
that one
If we
that
could
one
sell home
segment from the last time
versions
we played this,
of our
where
arcade
one
hit
of these guys
games
was just like,
into the
you know,
home,
we
we can
didn't
sell
mess. We
millions of them
all those
instead of
stories
just
about us like
quarters
being
from the thousands of
wild
people
and
in
doing
the arcade.
drugs,
And
and
so
then immediate
the
cut
hardware
to
was
another guy,
designed
just like we did
to
so
mimic
many
so
drugs.
many drugs.
Pong from Pong. That's about all that they did in the hardware.
So the distinction is this. Coin-Op
I think this is the guy who
gets to
said
use
we liked
more
it.
expensive hardware. They get to
Oh
use
yeah, this is definitely the guy.
tons and tons
who
of
said that.
hardware, and they get to refresh their hardware all the time.
I had played an Outlaw-like game in the arcade. I think it was Midway. And you know, I was just told to make a game, so I said, well, here's an idea, 2 guys shooting at each other. And so I made that game. My goal is to try to make it like the arcade game. So I could look at the arcade game and say, this is what it has to do.
It's a video game.
There really wasn't any need for me to have communication with the arcade guys. I'm particularly proud of the Atari 2600 Canyon Bomber because it also has the Atari arcade game Depth Charge in it. So it turns out that in a 2K byte
The TM has the
Atari
Karateka
2600
one.
cartridge,
Was
I
it one of the
simulated
devs
both
just
Canyon
traveling
Bomber
through the hallways
and
with
Depth
his
Charge,
hands on the
which were
walls
probably
without touching the ground
$3,000
so he could imagine
arcade
being
game
Pac-Man?
When I was young, when I was little, I remember there was this drugstore.
Wafidi
And
says
in
that the
their
guy
comic book
that the
rack,
guy
they
who
had
said
these
that he did
abridged
drugs all the time
versions
was the guy
of
who
great literature.
who did the
You'd read
Pac-Man
it, and it
port.
was the
So
whole story
probably
of
yeah.
Treasure Island. War and Peace, a comic book. But that whole notion of an abridged version, that is what was going to happen.
When I did Donkey Kong, I had, not surprisingly, absolutely no contact with Nintendo. Coleco was able to get me a machine. So I had a machine that I could play and look at, and I had already played the game. And like David said, with Canyon Bomber, the game is the spec. Frankly, the hardware is so different in its capabilities that I can't think of any value I would have had getting in touch with anybody at Nintendo. It's like talking to the guy who created the Porsche Carrera about making a bicycle. I mean, it's like, there's not a lot there. Not a lot you're going to tell me. Here's this masterpiece and do it on this toaster, you know. And I was young enough and stupid enough to not be intimidated. And I wasn't because I was just a kid. I was like, no big deal.
No big deal. I can make Donkey Kong on this toaster. Here's Outlaw. Yeehaw, everyone.
With not Clint Eastwood on the cover.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of cool as far as like.
Yeah. What is Pong, but you're trying to avoid the ball?
Yeah, that guy is a pretzel.
Ah, yeah. Dip him in some nacho cheese. Be delicious.
Yeah, and it had different versions that was like, oh, here's a target that you had to hit. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
there's like Target. Oh, look at all these.
Yeah, and there's like wagons that you had to shoot through.
Oops, I didn't want that.
What'd you do?
You're back in Outlaw.
I have to allow the message coming. Two nude men compete in competitive coming. Says
You're back in the
Corey.
arcade, the arcade area. Nope,
Yep, we got
nope, you're
past
going the
this.
wrong way. Nope.
A little bit further. A little bit further.
Yep,
Yep,
there.
that's the
Okay,
one.
there you go.
Come on, let's do the bomb.
Luffy and the One Piece logo be like those dudes from Outlaw. Thank you, Snack Canary.
I love
Video games.
I love game. Oh boy.
3D
3D.
tic-tac-toe.
This is the coolest tic-tac-toe. Look at this. If tic-tac-toe was this with your like
I love
fucking
the dog wearing a spacesuit.
Oh yeah.
like so what is this game? It's tic-tac-toe. Can you make that look interesting?
It is 3D tic-tac-toe, though.
Oh yeah. Now you're thinking in
Wait. It's a 4x. Wait, actually, what the fuck is this?
it's 3D tac-toe.
I have no idea how you actually play this.
Yeah, this seems inscrutable. I get you win.
So it's just tic-tac-toe. It's just there's 4 boards. So like if you can try to sneak away in other boards, I guess.
That's weird. It's a neat idea, but I don't think it. I don't think it would work.
I love the manuals in here.
The game matrix.
Oh, you can also win across the 4 boards if you put an X in the upper left of each board.
Oh yeah, here it is. Look at that.
Look at
There's that
robot.
good dog.
Look at the fucking robot. Oh my god.
Very oh, he has cube feet.
Shout outs to Susan Jekyll.
Yeah.
Got the keyboard controller.
Ugh.
The joystick we included was too simple. We need to give them the most dog shit numpad you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I love memory matching games. And Code Breaker. And brain games. Oh yeah, the handheld game Touch Me.
Touch. Don't watch TV tonight.
Play it.
Remember
How-
Pong? That was just the beginning.
How many early console games came with, or how many early consoles came with numpads? 3 or 4? Because you had
It's time
Atari,
to
you had
Atari.
Jaguar. Didn't the fucking like CDI have one too?
Yeah.
And television had one.
Oh boy.
Adventure.
This one I know of.
Oh, it's this fucking thing.
Yeah, which, you know, for the time, this is...
Sure, there's something mildly impressive about this.
Kill the shit out of that dragon. And now find your way through this maze.
Good
Good
luck.
luck.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Okay. Put it on my tab. Yes, I love how much the dragon looks like a duck.
Clip says possibly one of the first games to include vor in some manner.
Yeah, it also looks like a seahorse.
Oh man, look at that dragon though. Look how cool he is.
Get the key. Go through door. Sorry. You're okay, Bree. Oh yeah. I know that face.
I'd have to say one of the more influential.
No, not this
Oh, we
face.
also know
Not
that
that
face.
face.
Adventure.
Adventure had been a very popular game.
Yeah, I would say
Adventure is related
Adventure
to
was
really a
a
nerdy
direct,
game. It's related to like
inspiration
text
for
adventures or
Lawbreakers.
Dungeons and Dragons more than any of the
If
other
it weren't
things.
for Adventure, I
any of
wouldn't
the
have
other
made
intellectual property
Gears
or
of War.
content on the 2600.
So many games were just like kind of shooters and
Ah,
combat
get out
and
here,
whatnot, things like
Cliffy
that. They
B.
were very simple, but Adventure really broke the mold for what the 2600 was capable of.
But one of the most
Yeah,
magical,
that's what I was talking about.
impactful moments on the.
It was very
Shaver,
funny. You're like,
fucking
I know
go.
that face, and then
Okay.
Cliffy B just.
And I saw the cover at the drugstore because that's where you had to buy video games at the drugstore behind the photo counter. And I got it home. I was so excited to play it. I just didn't read the instructions. I just ripped it out of the box and played it and started playing it. And I was like, oh, and there's Dot, and there's the duck chasing me, and I got an arrow, and I can't see.
I think
What's
it's
happening? He
interesting
ate me.
to
Oh my
interview
God.
people who
The
aren't
weird thing about
directly
Adventure was
involved
the dragons
with
were
these
supposed
games
to be
being
dragons,
made
but they
by
just look like ducks.
just
I
like
don't
to
know what they were thinking
show.
there.
Hey,
The
even if you
bridge and
don't
the
care
bat,
about
it was
these
so
like
baffling.
these games in
I really
particular, they
loved that
did
experience of,
probably inspire people who
somewhat
made things you
confused,
like.
experience.
Beloved
And I feel like that's
Microsoft
actually something
employee
I've-
Tim
I've-
Schafer,
I love
yeah.
still in games now when there's that moment of like, what the? Where you just get games can do that. They can just surprise you and they can make you feel really bewildered. And then as you slowly figure out how they work, that's part of the pleasure of them. I think is that not knowing what to expect in them. So that moment of being surprised by Adventure has really stuck with me. Another thing I like about Adventure that I try to incorporate is that feeling that the game is really alive. The characters who are in that world live even when you're not looking at them on the screen. Like when the dragon or the bat flies on the screen in Adventure, you feel like it's been on a journey. It's been somewhere. Oh, the bat went over and it stole the shield. It stole the sword, and now it's in the rooms. Like you don't feel like it was just spawned in that room. It's been in another room doing bat adventures.
And what it provided for me was a sense of mystery and
Bless you,
exploration.
Tim
That would later
Schafer.
influence
Stop looking
the
at me,
2D
Cliffy B.
adventure games that I would make that
Like,
would help
it's
launch
the
my
fact
career.
that it's like just a face dead-on shot of Cliffy B is the thing that I really don't like about it. Like, I don't like Cliffy B looking directly into my eyes.
An Easter egg. Game Grams.
Game Grams.
Dodge him.
Oh!
Dodger was programmed by Karla Meninsky, who would later create Warlords and Star Raiders. Ah, I see.
You did not dodge him. you again have failed to dodge him. Ah. Hey, you want to hear the worst sound in the world?
Want to hear the most annoying sound of the world? Programming the VCS is hard.
So one of the first questions they asked me at Atari was, what do
Raiders
you
of
want to
the-
work on? So I just said to him, I said, what's the dirtiest, most basic elemental system that you have? And he goes, oh, well, that's the VCS. And I said, well, that's where I want to start.
I mean, the constraints on the programmers were worse
Oh,
than
man,
I ever
this
even
guy
imagined
has-
were possible.
2600 doesn't
Those vector machines.
It doesn't draw anything. What it does is it has these little logic devices, these counters and shift registers that say, this is the start of the screen. This is the left side of the screen. The electron beam is moving to the right. I'm going to count. I know how fast the electron beam is moving. I'm going to count until the electron beam is somewhere on the screen, and then I'm going to change the color on the screen for a little itsy bit.
There's only one console where you have to think about the the electron gun moving across the screen and what machine cycle you're on and when you can show stuff on the screen. That's such a fun and unique and annoying challenge that it really hooks you.
It's the most fun I've ever had making a game. What do you say?
Fun might not be the word. You know, it is the most challenging thing you could do. When we were doing it at Atari and at Activision, there were fewer than 100 people in the world who could do what we were doing.
Really, you sort of get the
that in
impression that it was a
itself
huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
No, very positive, very uplifting. It's really a sense of accomplishment. If you can
Turns out
create
game dev
something
has always been a nightmare.
that you know, 1 million people love on this horribly limited piece of hardware, you've created something. You know, have a sense of accomplishment.
And there are very few things more technical challenging than trying to get a game out of the VCS in the first place, because the VCS is a very technically limited machine. It sounds like a fabulous thing, and when it first came out, it was, because people had never seen anything like it.
I don't know if other people are as rewarded by it, but you're overcoming tremendous challenges. There's nothing that's easy to do on the 2600. And you're winning, right? I love winning.
And the other thing that's fun about playing them still is that they're all 60 frames a second. They have to hit that or the screen won't draw, you know? So they're all even much better than I think consoles that came out a few years afterwards. They all feel really fast when you play them. No Atari game has any sort of lag or anything because they had no option to have lag.
It's like when today, in hindsight, people criticize the first screen of Donkey Kong on the 2600. When I finished that screen, I thought it was a miracle. And you get people on Facebook today saying it's the biggest piece of
Buddy,
junk
you got to
I've
get
ever
off Facebook.
and you just have to
Listen, they're old.
understand
It's all I have.
where
Yeah.
we're at the time.
The programmers that worked with that machine.
Hey, it's
were
Eugene Jarvis.
magicians.
Magicians, just like the wizard from the cover of that game.
The cover of Adventure. Oh.
The custom high glossy
right
chip.
128 bytes of RAM.
Oh, if only. We have to go back.
Made in Korea. The secret sauce.
Remember that old quote from Bill Gates, who's just like, "When are you going to need anything more than 128 kilobytes of RAM?"
Buddy. There we go. Missile command.
Now this is a game.
Oh yeah, flashing lights warning for basically all of these. As soon as we're in a video game, don't look at the screen anymore.
This is based on a literal nightmare the dev had. I mean,
Yeah, I bet.
Like, yeah. Turns out, like,
Oh, man.
bombs exploding over cityscapes is a nightmare.
Look at this.
It's good.
Hell yeah.
I think the thing that I appreciate the most out of, like, the cover art in this ilk specifically is how much it channels, like, pulp sci-fi stuff. Like, in the same way that those cover screens had to be evocative. For those novels, they had to be evocative for these games. Also,
That's true.
You get one free turkey.
This is so fucking funny. Yeah, man, I would quit too.
expected a substantial bonus check that was instead given a coupon for a free turkey. This led him to quit Atari and co-found the publisher iPad.
Turns out abuse of game developers has always been a thing in the industry.
Yeah, turns out. Creators regularly get shafted.
You did a real good job. You helped sell, like, give our company millions upon millions of dollars. Hey, get yourself a free turkey.
A certificate! They printed out a certificate for a turkey! Oh my god.
Went on to create Night Trap. Ugh.
Yeah.
A legend. Hey, it's Warlords. My
yeah,
lord.
Warlords.
Player. Oh, okay, yeah, this game. I played versions of this basic concept. Or
Warlords is so good.
interesting idea. Obviously, more for having. Yeah, the arcade version.
Look at this dude. That's good.
Oh
That's
man,
real
look, the
good.
catapult inside of him.
Like I said, that's real good. Oh man.
The king is just like, oh,
Oh, you rascally warriors! Ah!
you threw your ball into my corner.
I think I first played this on the arcade level of a THQ Jimmy Neutron game.
That is.
Here we go. Now we're playing video games.
Yeah,
It's
let's
Asteroids.
let's see what the port of Asteroids is like.
Oh no.
They tried. That's what counts.
No. Oh
that's-
no.
That's bad. Like,
What are
is
some
it-
different versions for this?
Slow, fast, slow.
Like, is it just the Discord feed, or was, like... Is that just how the game looks with the, like, flashing asteroid?
Wait, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is the Discord feed. If you look at it on
Okay.
on the stream, it looks like visible.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like what Tim was saying. If you weren't running at 60 frames a second, it just wouldn't fucking work.
Wild.
81. Atari had estimated 80% share of the home video game market. 1/3 of Warner's earnings, pulling over $1 billion in Warner Sussex during that period, was widely.
Wait, hold on. Can we go back for a second? The designer of Sword Quest Fire World.
Yeah.
That's
It's had that on under his lower third, like, multiple times.
I'm just now noticing the name of that game and how incredible it is.
Oh, it's very good.
Oh, Super Breakout. Oh man. Look at that.
The first time that Warner fucked up the game industry.
That art is so cool.
Yeah.
The astronaut is like, I gotta break all these blocks.
Let's do it. Let's break these blocks. Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you like Breakout? Guess what? We have more Breakout.
Oh, hell yeah. Breakout.
I always like Breakout with the power-ups. I always enjoy that a little bit more than regular.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Breakout.
Yeah. That always ends up being the thing that I run into when I try to play old video games. Good. The first survival horror game. That ends up being the thing that happens whenever I go back to old games, is I tend to, like, boot it up for 5
yeah,
seconds
this
and be
game.
like, yep. Oh, yep, it's that.
Just like a little pair of eyes scooting around. Video games.
Oh, I can.
Uh-oh. Something's coming.
Scary,
Ghost! Ghouls.
Everyone's posting eyes.
In some ways, the cover art perfectly captures what the game is.
Oh,
Man.
Oh, nice.
I want to see some of the art that, like, Steve Hendricks says.
Oh, yeah,
outside
the
of,
color.
like,
Look at this. The house. Wait, what? Oh, this is the remake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I thought it said urine.
This is cute.
Uh-oh. Scary.
Scary.
RT.
Yeah, it's like I would not pay to get this separately, but like as part of the collection, it's nice.
Oh, there's a pesky ghost.
Oh no.
I think the ghost got you.
Spooky.
I got you.
Yeah, you like your Five Nights at Freddy's kids.
No, I won.
That's yeah.
Cute.
That's cute. Here it is, everyone. The moment you've been hearing about. It's.
Yar's revenge.
We'll get to the shirtless man in a second.
Well. I have no idea what this game is supposed to be looking like because of the Discord stream.
Oh yeah, I have the fucking.
Oh yeah, with all the.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like you have to be looking at it at 60 frames per second, or otherwise it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah. Look at the dude behind him. Oh yeah. What a specimen.
New inside, Yar's Revenge. Action-packed.
Comic book.
As recently featured in the hit Metroidvania, Yar's Rising. It sucked.
It stinks.
It sucked.
So I looked over this game. It was Star Castle. I played it a bunch. I thought about it on the VCS. I looked it over and I realized, holy crap, this is going to suck. This is going to absolutely suck. And I could not afford to have my first project suck.
I think the caption said that he did write
Yar's. I marched myself
truly.
into Dennis Kobel's office and I said, look, instead of doing this, I'd like to do this. This is something that I think uses some of the basic game ideas, but I think this is something that would work on the system. This other one won't work. And I just made this little presentation to him. And to his credit, he said, okay, you know what, go for it. The first thing I put up on the screen was an animated character. Most people use a block because they want to start working out their game mechanics and stuff like that. I put up an animation. That was the first thing I put up on a screen. And people would go by and they go, wow, that looks cool. What does it do? I'd be like, nothing. That's what it does. There it is.
It's just a little guy that moves around on the screen.
It's like,
it's just a little guy.
It was time to actually play it and have some of the stuff. So I had achieved my goal of trying to make something interesting. And it sucked as a game. And I was exactly caught in the place I didn't want to be. So what I did was I started taking feedback, which was extremely painful. To hear people telling me how much my game sucked. The only thing that really made it tolerable was that I wasn't so self-deluded at that point that I didn't realize it sucked also. Until I worked out making some of the changes and getting it through, I was in very bad shape. And I was feeling some very negative feedback from some other people. And I was feeling, I'm usually the person who's hardest on myself. And that was a tough time for me. And I had to get through that before I could hear what people were saying and start to work on it. And I had to release myself from, but I have to have this, but I have to have this. As a therapist, I always catch people when they say I have to. I always love people say, I have to, but I have to do this. And I always stop and I say, look, you don't have to. Obviously you don't have to because you're not doing it, right? You don't have to, but you could, but there's probably a reason you're not. And the reason I'm able to give that lesson to my clients now is because I had to get over that. I had this have to that was making things not work. And until I could let that go, I couldn't make the game succeed. And when I did, it forced me to think in new ways, to think outside the box, and to go come up with some other left field solution. And when I made those changes, then suddenly Yar's was really good.
What's in it?
One of the product managers came by who was responsible for this product, and he goes, hey, well, we're working on naming your game. And I said, can I make a submission? Can I submit a name? And he goes, sure, why not? I said, okay, I tell you what, come by here tomorrow morning. I said, you guys won't have it settled by tomorrow, will you? He goes, no. I said, come by tomorrow morning, I will have something for you. I will have a submission for you. So now I know what I'm doing for the rest of the evening.
A nice little history.
I don't know if you ever tried
here.
it before. When you just try to make up a new word, everything sounds stupid. At least it does for me. I can't come up with something that sounds cool. Everything sounds kind of dumb. So being the algorithmic thinker that I can be at times, I thought, well, if I can't just spontaneously come up with some name, I should come up with a way to derive the name. I'll come up with an algorithm.
Well, that's nice.
It's a simple title. What's going on? Maybe I need an action thing. Because it's an action game, I need an action word. I don't know the name of the character, but I thought, revenge. Revenge is a great action word because everybody wants revenge, right? So I figure I'll go with revenge. And now all I need is whose revenge is it? I just need the name of the character. And then I thought, well, one of the great ciphers is, writing something backwards. That's never a bad idea. The head of the company's name is Ray Kazan. And Ray spelled backwards, that's Yar. And Yar sounds pretty cool. It's got a Y in it, so it's got like sci-fi, anything with Y's and Z's, and maybe an X somewhere.
Well, what if we made it so we're gonna...
And I sat down and I wrote a 10-page story called The Yarian Revenge of Razak IV.
A 10-page
And that was the time. That was going to be the title of the game, The Aryan Revenge of Razak 4. I stayed all night.
Game dev has always hated
I was
their
done like
CEOs.
3:30. I just laid down on the floor
hates
in my
their
office
boss.
and got a little sleep. And then around 10, you know,
Well, you
in comes the
characterize it
marketing
just like,
manager, and
you
so I handed him
get
the
a Y and an
package.
X
Here you
or
go.
maybe a
This
Z
is-
in there. That's good
This is the
sci-fi
package for the
stuff.
story. I didn't realize it fully at the time, but what I had done was I had created the first backstory in the history of video games.
Good job, man.
Yep, way to go.
You've invented lore.
The art is so sick.
Oh man, that's good too, with the big hand.
Man.
Yo.
What else has Hiro Kimura done?
Oh, this is the comic book. The comic book of Yar's Revenge.
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yours. These weird bug people.
No, that's just
Distract.
This rules.
Planet 3, Yar's headquarters. Moon of Planet 3, Zorlong Cabin. Planet Eep.
Moon of Planet Eep. Wall art. Oh, this is some crunchy video.
oh yeah.
Holy shit.
A mutant fly. Hello, Yar. You'll need
Like
some
it
protection.
almost makes me feel like they applied like filters to make this feel older. With how
shift chrono.
crunchy it
Intensify. Okay, now you'll need some weapons.
is. Oh, look at the 3D on that.
Enemy.
Ah,
The
so
coat
sick.
tile.
Whoa.
Watch it, Yar. He has a
Like that-
lethal drone
This is actually
and some other tricks up his sleeve.
mildly impressive for like an 80s
Good
commercial.
move, Yar. Now I have a surprise for you. A Sorlon cannon.
At least to me, it feels like it's mildly impressive.
Use it, Yar.
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, this is rad.
Fire again. That's revenge. Yar's Revenge. A video game. Yeah, this can be fun. This can be a lot of fun. Like asteroids.
Eh,
Get him. Do it. Beautiful. Watch it. Disintegrate. Now let's go into deeper space. Galactic map. Sector 11.
the Pac-Man
Hyperspace.
galaxy.
Sights in. Cylon warships, attack. Steady, stand by, photons. Star Raiders. That's it, Star Raiders.
Yeah,
on their toes.
not Star Wars.
Oh god.
Let's see
Oh,
what
God.
we can come up with next.
We're Atari. We have the vision, and we invented the technology to bring the excitement.
Y'all sure
home
did
to
have the
you.
vision.
Starred actor Rod.
They had the vision, unlike the people that watch this commercial afterwards.
What is Rod? What is Rod Davidson in?
I will find that out in just a second. It was Rod Davidson.
Yeah.
Rod Davidson.
He's known for Knots Landing and Santa Barbara, and that's it.
That-
Let's see.
Oh, that's why the film scan is like that. This was played in theaters. This is a theater commercial. So yeah, they probably got whatever the best quality scan they could probably find, you know.
That is wild.
Coordinator and technical expert John Hughes.
The demand for this work is high, even at an average cost of $100,000 for a 30-second spot. God damn.
Oh.
Yar's Revenge enhanced.
Whoa.
Sick. You weren't supposed to hit that. The music in this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Oh!
Oh, that's neat.
That's actually really neat.
That's like super impressive that it's able to immediately switch that on the fly, because it still has the same fucking quality of like the frame rate thing going on, even in this version of it. That's wild.
Crazy.
That's really cool.
What goes up?
Well, the good times will never end.
Surely the good times can never end. I think you didn't examine the very last piece in there. Oh, you did. Trying to think of what you missed.
Wait.
You did free turkey.
Oh, there we go.
Did you? Okay.
What comes up must come down. Trouble in Paradise! The industry was about to suffer a major market crash in 1983. But that didn't mean there were no games to play. On the contrary, some of the best games for 2600,
But also some of the worst, because around this time is when one of the most infamous video games of all time was released.
That's right, the 80s are here. Get rid of that wooden.
Gotta make it look sleek.
Today we understand that there is a video game console cycle. Game consoles became obsolete after replaced with new technology. In 1982, this is not widely understood. With higher powered competition in the market, Atari wasn't sure what to do in response. Stick with the 2600 or introduce new hardware? As it turns out, they tried both.
Have a good one, Corey. Take care.
Yeah, good night, Corey.
Good night, Corey.
Thanks for joining us.
Could
Yeah,
be
the
a
idea of, like-
television with their fucking button down.
Their little remote slots.
Oh my god.
Like the idea that, you know, the console cycle is just like a given thing is like it was like in question even like later than this because
Yeah, into the 90s.
yeah, because like during like in the run up to the Super Nintendo, like Nintendo was hauled before Congress to be like, who were like, hey, why the fuck are you releasing why are you releasing a new Nintendo and people can no longer use their old Nintendo?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not saying you can't use it anymore. We're just saying
We're just not releasing any more games for it.
Yeah.
Also, I like how it's like, oh yeah, subscribe to the exclusive Atari magazine to get your exclusive games.
Demons to diamonds.
Oh man,
Only a diamond.
that weird
Look at that
kid.
That kid's like, I'm gonna commit war crimes.
It's time to commit war crimes.
I'm gonna commit war crimes, y'all. Good night.
Oh yeah, it's another game that beeps, boops, and bops.
Oh man, Wafidi. If only... In some ways, we are truly on the darkest timeline when it comes to video game consoles, because, like, if that was the crossroads they were stuck on, of, like, new consoles versus entry-level computers, they should have just made entry-level computers. Like...
Two great games. Yeah, people are definitely gonna want Math Grand Prix.
Look at that kid. Like, he's like, I know how to do 5 plus 6. That equals 11.
I mean, any scene
real sports.
Like both the PC Engine and like the PC 88 and 98, right?
Oh boy, super sports package. War crimes are fun. I did a few recently.
Alright, that's
Atari baseball.
real sports baseball.
Wait, what's that sticker?
I don't give a shit
Save-
about baseball.
Save $2. Okay, let's do the base. Oh god.
Yeah.
We're still a couple of years off from RBI baseball.
What is happening?
Oh, that's a baseball.
Oh, that's a baseball. You're right. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no.
Oh, baseball.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's good baseball art. I like the guy has the Atari logo on his cap.
I like that the pitcher is just not Burt Reynolds.
Oh, football. I'm not playing these. Fuck these sports. I
Aw,
hate
come
sports.
Oh, come on.
Oh, fine. I'll.
Yeah, even if it's just for a few seconds, boot them up.
I mean, I like the sprites here. They're actually
Yeah,
kind
I was
of.
gonna say, for Atari, I like the animation on those sprites.
Oh man, I missed my ball.
Oh, I missed my ball today. I didn't get to hit the ball today. Oh, it's okay, son. You're not very talented.
It's
Football.
Football.
Talk to it's the pigskin. Look at that squatty guy.
What the fuck?
Goal!
Oh, I guess that was the kickoff. That makes sense. Offsides? What is happening? Just that emote.
This little football man going, yeah!
I love that little football man.
Look at this guy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's another Hiro Kimura.
God damn. Okay, it's time for Sword Quest.
Yeah! Each game hiding a complex puzzle that would lead to a single player winning a $25,000 prize.
What?
Crafted from gold and gemstones.
Truly a different fucking world.
Also DC.
Exciting new comic book.
Sword Quest.
So did anyone ever
Look at this
actually
guy.
win that prize? I imagine that's going to be answered by the timeline.
Dude.
Whoa!
Look at that. They didn't release the 4th Sword Quest game until Atari 50. So they didn't even give all the pieces to the money prize until this. At which point they're like, yeah, nah, that was all a load of horseshit.
So Adventure was a really popular product, and we were kind of there was
Yeah,
some
like you're not gonna
vibe
get
around maybe a
like a
sequel
pitfall
to Adventure.
on
And
this
somewhere
thing,
in
right?
there, I got the idea of
So-
doing a series of games that were contests.
It's tough to get an idea of
with
like what the
comic
full.
books with real prizes made by Franklin Mint. We were part of Warner Communications, and somewhere
They
along
made
there,
a sword ahead
we
of
had
time for that
started
4th game, and
to
once
be
it
doing
did come
bits
out,
of
it
comic books with the
disappeared.
game. And because Warner Communications owned DC Comics. Warner Communications, I happen to know, I don't know that anyone else was paying attention, also owned Franklin Mint. Right? Franklin Mint being a collectible company. I don't know, they made plates and little figurines and stuff, I know, and medallions. Not my thing, but it's a creative world. It's hard to talk about this without going me, me, me. I don't love going me, 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 but a lot of it was, I consider myself to basically have been the showrunner of Sword Quest. The concept was mine, the literary concept, the material. So the games are actually moderately literate and erudite, right? The whole story is put together as a lot like a Grail quest or something in Joseph Campbell. It would be a hero's journey, a spiritual evolution, a life. It's a story of a life, of a energetic, a magical life, right, through these mystical systems. So I embedded it in a lot of historical culture of mysticism, and sold the idea, and it went over big. It was brave, it was ambitious, it was audacious, and it had a certain je ne sais quoi, but I don't know what it is. I'll back up a little bit. There was kind of a bizarre effort to do a combination of Twitch and adventure game, to merge and to create an action adventure. I think Howard tried this in Raiders, right, where he tried to make an adventure game that was built into an action game and merge the two. So I consider Howard and I to be some of the pioneers of action adventure. Got to say this in a certain way. So you'd play this action game, and maybe get a clue, a prize that you'd add to your inventory. And if you had that in your inventory, then you could unlock, then you'd be on this map. You wouldn't necessarily see the map, but you'd be inside a maze, and a door would open in the maze, and there'd be another action game there. And so it was kind of like a first-person adventure with action elements. That was basically, and you know, I gotta, looking back at it when I say it that way and knowing what was in the times, it was very audacious. And it was actually very creative. It was really, you know, it was really cool.
iMagic itself is kind of in legal limbo where you can reactivate it, but you have to pay 40 plus years of company tax in the state of California. Sword Quest. Oh, is this is the DC comic? Oh man. Yep. Do you want to read the whole DC Sword Quest comic? Oh man, giant crab! There's clues in each comic book. Look at the sword. You could be a king or queen of video gaming. Special Burn is t-shirt.
The talisman was supposedly melted down by the owner for cash value. Great.
Solid gold talisman. Which, I think this is what Jester was saying, and they just melted it down. The official Atari handshake!
Oh my god, what the fuck did I just come back to? Fucking nerds. Nerds.
Accidentally dislocating their thumb. Oh man, you can win official Atari Frisbee.
Great.
Oh, you could try to guess the different Atari games.
Years of
next gen.
Ah,
Atari
baby.
5200.
Oh yeah. Look at that box.
Oh man, here's your controller.
Another number pad. Woo!
No.
We got your number pad right here and a trackball.
A trackball. Let's go, baby.
2 number pads and a trackball. This is gaming.
2 number pads and a trackball.
Well, actually, given the time, that's probably a good place to stop for now, because this is...
Yeah, surely only good things are waiting ahead of us.
Still on our way up.
That's right, we still got highs and lows, the dawn of PC, 1990s and before,
Beyond.
the wider world of Atari, and the first console war. I saw the Atari links there for a second. Well then, I hope you all enjoyed the stream.